Just have to live with it.
Hello. Move along.
Hungry for arcane secrets? I have.
Oh, hello. I haven't seen you around here before. Just take a look around and tell me if you see anything you like. Oh, a bit of this and that. Feel free to take a look. Walk blessed. Oh, a bit of this and that. Feel free to take a look. Walk blessed. Now, where did I...
Walk blessed. Sure. Farewell. Sure. May his light guide you.
Hungry?
Delicacies,
I've
only
got
the
just
best.
what a weary traveler
Straight from
needs.
Kiev. Hello.
This Nevermese attacked our city in an act of infinite cowardice.
Oh, you're
They
not
have
from
led
around
their
here, are you?
warships into our holy waters
that
and
accent.
landed on our coasts. And it is naught but blood that they are letting flow.
An outlander. An outlander. What are you doing in this part of the city? Shouldn't you be, I don't know, somewhere else?
Walk blessed.
But that's ridiculous. We have to at least try to negotiate.
You know his demands. There's no basis for negotiation.
He has not seen what we have seen. The writings, the memories of the Prophet. If he just realized...
Taranor Korek would rather throw away his comb that had been a mistake. Believe me, I know him.
I am sure the Grand Master has a solution ready. After all, he was the one who dismissed Korek's attempts to negotiate so swiftly.
First we wait for the group's return, then we will see.
But it's been a week.
My dams, my sirs.
Shit. What took you so long? And where is Constantine?
That's a
You're
long
the one
story.
they call the Prophet, aren't you? Congratulations on passing the trial, I guess.
And those were his final words? I can't believe it.
Simply another victim of the High Ones. If we do not activate the beacon soon, he won't be the last.
Oh, right. The beacon. If it's activated, we'll simply glow the red madness away, won't we? Or maybe we could, for once in all this, do something that actually makes sense, and focus our resources on finding an alchemistical or thaumaturgical solution to this problem, rather than trusting in a pile of scrap metal.
Oh, by the Prophet's ass! Won't you just shut up for a minute? All day long you do nothing but babble, getting on our nerves, and nothing you ever say gets any closer to a fucking solution. So why don't you just shove off to one of the bathhouses? Go torture the washerwomen with your never-ending lamentations. That would be helpful for a change.
You will take that back.
Will I? Come here and make me. I'd be delighted.
Blasphemy!
Guard your
This
tongue,
is blasphemy!
wild mage, or...
Or what? Are you gonna kill me? That's what you do best, you and your fucking order.
Silence! You are angry, Lishari Pegast, and I understand why. But in the moment you let that anger destroy this alliance, Firespark's sacrifice will have been in vain. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
No. No, it isn't.
Good. I am tired of this endless bickering. We have a responsibility, and we will fulfill it.
Well said, Aranthiel. And how exactly do you think we are going to do that? Without the sources, the beacon is as worthless as a heap of rusty iron.
The chroniclers are on it, and they will find the answer. Novice, tell Commander Aaron to join us. We need to plan the defense of the land. You, Prophet, will come to me as soon as you have recovered. Now, let us get to work.
Please, Tilo. Jorik is right. A war with Nerim? This is madness.
I know that it is going to be tough. We have
The
no
sun be
choice.
praised, you've made it.
This is all that we have.
Constantine.
Yes, the beacon.
He
the
didn't
beacon,
deserve this.
The beacon.
It's just not
We
fair.
don't even know what this thing does, let alone if it will work. If you start a war only because of that damn machine, it means putting the lives of thousands at risk, only because of some vague idea.
Then none of us are strong
This is
enough.
ludicrous, Tila. It's entirely
Yeah,
irrational.
Constantine wasn't exactly the most approachable fellow, but he was a damn skilled
Yes,
mage.
because that man is dead.
I have to talk to you as soon as possible. It's about the seal in that letter we found on the mercenaries in Old Rashengrad.
Happen again.
I believe I'm onto something.
Seriously, Natara. Stop acting
Their client is from Enderal.
reason.
From Ark, to be more precise. Let's not talk here, though. Meet me in the Dancing Nomad. I'll be in the first room upstairs, right at the end of the staircase.
Your damn pride, Tilo.
And hurry.
Nothing else.
Well, why do you think? Come to the Dancing Nomad after you've spoken with Aranthiel. See you there.
Saira, good to see you. I heard about what happened on Half Moon Island. It's a wonder you and that mercenary made it back alive. But war, it just seems so unreal. How has it come to this? Now we not only have to fight these High Ones, but also some fanatic who thinks he knows best. If they are, then maybe we were foolish to think that the Red Madness is the only weapon at their disposal. Tell me, Saira, how is it possible that our beliefs about what's best for mankind are so different? Why are we so eager to be at each other's throats? Suffering leads to more suffering. Yes, that makes sense. You know what I find so hard to understand? Why there are so few people who actually care. So few people who feel the need to change something like you and I do. There are moments I just feel so powerless. As if we all know that if we keep going like this, we're headed for a catastrophe. But instead of changing course, we just stand by and watch. Do you know the feeling? I thought so. Whenever I think about it, I find it so hard not to get angry. Take all those upper city snobs with their colorful garments and exotic perfumes. They could put all that money to such good use if only they wanted to, but no, they don't, because they just don't give a damn about the poor. Sometimes I imagine going down there, grabbing one of them by the collar and dragging them down into the Undercity, and there I'd force them to see, just for once. But even that probably wouldn't help. I guess we only care about the things that directly affect us. Who fights against poverty if he's never suffered from it? No, it's not. It should be what everyone does. And once again, you've had to listen to another deluge of my whining. I guess I'm just not a person for pleasantries. Sorry. Anyway, I need to make some preparations now. Master Bartar requested my support with something, and I shouldn't keep him waiting any longer.
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do.
Yes?
Thou art my light, my glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will honor in life as in death. Prophet?
Yes, I did. This madman, Koarek. He has completely reshuffled the cards. Now we not only have to deal with the High Ones, but also with him and his fanatics. However, there's also good news. You have probably seen it already. Physically, yes. And we also know how it works now, and how it can put an end to the cycle. It is easier than we thought. The beacon was constructed for one thing, to destroy the High Ones. Once reconstructed, infused with energy and activated, lit, as the Pyreans called it, it can banish the High Ones from this plane of existence. It is complicated if you try to understand how it works. You know that the High Ones are not made of flesh and blood as we are. Essentially, they can be compared to the cold or to shadows. Omnipresent elements, yet we cannot touch them. Energy, if you will. However, there is a counterpart to each energy. Cold and fire, shadow and light. The High Ones and the beacon. Yes. Imagine a torch driving away the darkness in the moment it is ignited. This is what the beacon can do, except that the banishing will be permanent. Yes, as I said, it needs to be infused with energy before it can be lit. I take it you have noticed the 3 sockets on its base. They are what it draws its power from. Once they are filled, the beacon can be ignited and the High Ones will be undone once and for all. At least, if the old writings are true. The only thing left for us to find out is what these energy sources are. But we are close. Give the Arcanists some more time and I will let you know if there's any news. In the meantime, get equipped accordingly. Some of the Nerimes have landed already, and outbreaks of the Red Madness become more and more frequent as we speak. Well, it's only fair to tell you. You've always been honest to me, so I will do the same. Have you ever heard of the Night of the Thousand Fires? Between 8,192 and 8,202, there was an underground movement in Kira called the Red Half Moon. They were brought into being by a group of intellectuals and philosophers who, under all the freedom of thought Saldrine granted them, started questioning the reign of the Golden Queen, and thus the Lightborn themselves. Correct, just as my son did. But other than him, they fought like cowards. Terror, dust crystals planted in the marketplaces, and assassinations, you name it. If they killed innocents, they blamed the Golden Queen, and if they killed her soldiers, they celebrated themselves as liberators. However, they never succeeded in putting her down, and neither did she in destroying them, which is why the court turned to the Lightborn for help. A division of the Holy Order led by me, a young keeper of barely 30 winters. None to be taken seriously. You know, not everywhere is the Order as present as here on Enderal, or as it once was on Narim. In Kira, we were ridiculed. I saw the Kiranian keepers who served the Golden Queen. A bunch of decadent gluttons who had dedicated themselves to the court's banquets rather than to the will of the gods. They were pathetic. A moon after our arrival, we received an anonymous tip on where one of the Half Moon's bases was supposed to be located, in a small coastal village. As we entered it, we were greeted by the township's elders, and the villagers themselves had gathered behind them. You should have seen how they stared at us, as if we were plunderers. I should have seen by then that something was wrong. That's what they wanted us to think, and they did a good job at that. A veiled person here, an archer on the rooftops there. I got nervous, because villagers or not, they bested us in numbers, and they had cattled us. Then a man seemed to charge at us, and I gave the order to draw weapons. It was just the spark they needed. No, not a fight. A massacre. The villagers had pitchforks and shepherd staffs, and we had shadow steel swords, let alone the fact that we were trained warriors. I realized that I had made a mistake a split second after it started, but it was too late by then. My men, they slaughtered them all, like pigs. At the end of the day, 300 people were dead, and only 10 of them were keepers. Well, what better proof of the Lightborn's cruelty is there than a division of keepers who, out of pure wickedness, slaughtered an entire village, women and children included. If the people had already distrusted us before that distrust had turned into hatred, then nothing could have changed that, not even the Golden Queen's heralds. We set sail back to Enderal a week later. 2 years after that, the Red Half-Moon destroyed itself due to infighting. Ironic, isn't it? Maybe. The Lightborn and the Grandmaster back at that time showed the compassion I wouldn't grant myself. But I learned one thing. And that is that I will never again let fears about my own life influence my decisions. What happened in Kira was the consequence of my own cowardice, and my unwillingness to give my life for a just cause. That will never happen again.
They just sit on their asses and hope things settle themselves.
Hard times these are. Hard times.
Some things
fades away.
Monsieur? Yes? Good evening.
important. Move along. Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be where I put it.
Prophet, are you in there? Kirash, what? Why? What have you done? What? No. I will not accept this. I will not accept this, damn it! Forgive me. This is simply too much. Yes, I know, Nea. But she was a good woman. We both know that we're not involved in this. So please tell me why you and Lashari wanted to meet up here? Were the two of you close? It's been a while since there was a man at Lashari's side. So why? What? Then this bastard got wind of it. Oh, Kirash, Lashari, why the secrecy? Maybe the murderer has left a clue. We have to search. What's this? Let me see. Yes! This could be our clue. No, certainly not. But come to think about it, it doesn't really help us either. There are so many dust addicts in Ark, it would take years just to count them. Oh, by the name of the sun, I will inform the Order. Yes, you do that. But come back to the temple as soon as you're finished, all right? The Archmagister has found something out about those sources we need for the beacon. Even though we paid a high price for it.
I really need that new herbal essence for my hair.
Now a good pipe.
Oh well.
Yeah, as if.
Now, good pot of peace, mate. Why is that stuff so expensive?
Well, that's just how he is. Always talking. Yes, you should go into the Whisperwood and see what you can find in the old fortress. I'll wait for you in the Undercity, in my laboratory.
An outlander? Isn't this?
There you are.
The fabled
Walk blessed.
prodigy.
Do you have a moment?
I hope you can live up to what they say about you.
Ah, greetings.
I really
Of course. What do you need?
The Archmagister ordered me to find out more about the Pyrean Civil War. The one that took
Yes.
place shortly before the
Yes,
cleansing.
that just might work.
That's your area of expertise, isn't it?
Well, I did study the Chronicles, so I suppose so, yes. What do you
Let's
need
hope
to
he
know?
knows what he's doing. This
Prophet?
chap, the commander of Diligar, who incited the conflict. What do you know about him?
Only what's written
If
in
it
the
isn't the
old
prophet,
He
what's wrong?
was
You look
a fast
troubled.
climber, and he wasn't born into the cast like most sun priests are.
Wait, so you're saying he was no Dilgar by
I know.
blood, and yet he made
Shah
it to the
Rim has
commander?
already told me. I hardly knew her,
Yes,
but it's horrible.
because he was a
Different
pragmatist.
ideologies or not, she
Whatever
was a
was
fine
necessary
young
to gain an
mage,
influence
and her
and power,
knowledge of the
he did.
Pyreans was
You know the kind
impressive.
of person.
We need to find the ones who did this,
That
and
doesn't
fast.
go
But you
along
probably
well
already
with
know
the
that.
fact that he started
Thank
this
Malphus we
war
just had a
against
breakthrough with the
idiots.
beacon.
Why?
Well, you know, usually pragmatists are mainly concerned with themselves.
At least as far as the
Start a
sockets
war
go,
that divides
yes.
the entire
In the old
Pyrean
tablets you
realm?
found in
That
old
sounds more like
Dothrgrad,
fanaticism
there's
to me.
talk of
Like
black
something an
embers,
idealist
which are
would do.
supposed to be some kind of energy supply for the machine.
Yes, probably. But maybe something happened that caused a change of heart in him.
This is what we've been asking
My
ourselves
thoughts
over the
exactly.
past few weeks,
Any idea
and then
why?
it fell like pelt from our
No,
eyes.
nothing,
The
but
Pyreans were
I'm not
talking
certain I
about the
understand why
Black
this is so
Pearls.
important to you. The
Old
Grandmaster wants us
jewels,
to examine
sometimes
the Pyrean
known as
history for hints
blackstones.
about the cleansing, not for the motivations of some
They
crazy
appeared for the
commander.
first time in the Golden Era, and every self-important noble
thought that
literally
maybe there's
fought
a
to get
connection
one in his possession.
But
Apparently they originated
thanks
from
for helping me
Stormwind,
out.
the
I will
old city
see
in the
you
heart
at
of
the next
Arctwind.
Yes.
They
walk
changed
west.
owners for decades, sometimes by violence, sometimes by gold. The whole thing only stopped when the owners took note of an undesirable side effect, if you like. No, at least not with any known magic. And that's what's so strange about it. Nevertheless, all of their owners eventually shared the same fate. Countess Catua from Nerim, for example, whose castle burnt down to its foundations. According to a survivor of this tragedy, she was to blame for that. He claimed that he saw her the night it happened, laughing hysterically and dancing in the dining room and summoning waves of fire all around her.
Burst into tears.
She was not previously known to have any magical talent in her. Correct. Plus, all of them eventually showed similar symptoms of delusion, like those possessed by the Red Madness do. A peculiar coincidence, if you ask me.
One day.
Not quite.
Those who owned a pearl tried to get rid of it, or lock it up somewhere safe, and eventually they fell into oblivion. Tell him your theory, Archmagister.
Yes, of course. We believe that the stones carry energy, pure, uncontrolled magic, and that the High Ones use them for their own purposes. Correct. The pearls' magic make their owners powerful, but the High Ones befoul them, so to speak. Like a poisoned potion. I know it sounds odd, but the parallels are too striking to ignore. The red shimmer in the victim's eyes, the slow descent into madness, and ultimately this irrational, destructive act of violence. That's what we think, yes. Nothing else in this world possesses that much raw power.
Which is why you will find them for us. Correct. No, because we know what we are dealing with, unlike those who fell victim to the stones. Imagine them as a powerful, magical sword. A fool won't know how to wield it and will eventually cut himself with it. A seasoned warrior, however, can use its power for his purposes. Which doesn't mean, however, that we will be careless with them. What we need is their energy, and once we have transferred that to the beacon, their shells will be useless to the High Ones. That's right, but we don't need all of them. The beacon has 3 sockets, and that is how many of the stones we will acquire. Archmagister.
I studied the history of the pearls as a young arcanist, and I think that my notes might give you some hints as to where you should start looking. Give me until tomorrow. By then I will have prepared the relevant excerpts. Just come to me whenever you have questions.
And hurry. I take it you have already noticed this, but Nerimi's troops are roaming our land and building outposts, and the Red Madness is also getting worse as we speak. Now go, Prophet. The sooner we find these stones, the better.
A machine that can banish these High Ones. The mysteries of this world are endless, aren't they?
Let's hope he knows what he's doing. Why can't it ever be easy?
Yes?
You're a foreigner, aren't you? You couldn't have picked a better time to come to Enderal. Recently the Order has...
Between darkness
Hello.
Thou art my light.
Yes?
My glimmer at the horizon. Thy name is my sacrament, and thy path I will
Ah,
learn.
yes. Here. There they are. I've marked the most relevant parts, so you don't have to read the entire book. Just see if they tell you anything that could give you a clue as to where you should start searching. I will be waiting at the beacon.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead? Blazes, it's dark already. Time really does fly by.
One day, Nea. One day.
Yes. Yes, that just might work.
Let's hope he knows what he's doing. Yes, it makes sense.
Oh, hey.
That's beyond me.
Huh? Can I help you?
Yes?
Yes, you should go into the Whisperwood and see what you can find in the old fortress. I'll wait for you in the Undercity, in my laboratory.
Malphas's blessings.
are.
That pretty boy, you mean? Aye. He was here yesterday, all night long, with some noble woman. Haven't seen him since, though. He looked a little battered, if you ask me. You know him well?
Just where did I put it?
I see. You know what? If you're looking for him anyway, could you give him this once you find him? A courier brought it along a few hours ago. Aye. A young woman, apparently. Maybe one of his beloved, who knows. Seemed urgent, though. Anyway, I need to get back to work. I'll tell the guy you were looking for him if he comes back.
Hey.
Is it important?
Some people just don't know their place in the world.
Comes a point. You just have to live with it.
Yeah.
They
It's
just
not as
sit
if I
on their
didn't tell them
asses
that
and hope things
already.
settle themselves.
Idiots.
I, Captain Yanu Orai, hereby confess my sins. For decades, I imprisoned men and women from all continents of Vin and sold them to the highest bidders. 462 men, 561 women, and 210 children have me to thank for a life spent in slavery. I don't remember their names. Now, however, the time of punishment has finally come, and I thank the Bone Judge who will carry out my judgment. Crucified, I shall be hoisted over a pool of acid whose caustic fumes will burn away the skin from my body. Nobody will come to my aid, and I will die in solitude, as I should. Yanu Orai, Slaver.
Monsieur?
Some chefs never was a
Things settle themselves. Idiots.
Monsieur?
Yeah, it's not as if I didn't tell them that already. We always go too easy on the scum. Can I help you? Be careful, my sir. The streets aren't safe at this hour.
Monsieur?
They always
Yes?
too easy on this gun.
Yes?
I, Borio Oakenvale, hereby confess me sins. For decades, I abducted children from the Undercity and locked them in this basement. I defiled them, let them starve, and then sold them to the highest bidders, who, like me, were also driven by carnal sins and perverse desires. Now, however, the time of punishment has finally come, and I thank the Bone Judge who will carry out my judgment. In shackles, I will watch as a pack of rats eats the flesh from my bones. Nobody will hear me screams, just like there was no one to hear those of the poor souls whose lives are destroyed. Signed, Boreo Oakenvale, child trafficker and murderer.
Walk blessed.
Yes? Yes? Yes?
An outlander? What are you doing in this part of the city? Shouldn't you be...
That's just how it is. Everything was better in the old days.